Someone should have told House Speaker Kevin McCarthy the first rule in dealing with the devil. You don't. Recently elected House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is continuing to make good on his deal with the devil, as indicated by the fact that she gave a seat on the House Homeland Security Committee to Marjone Taylor Greene. Yeah, Marjone Taylor Greene, who has not only been supportive of the January 6th insurrection, but has reportedly asked Donald Trump, her Lord and Savior, for a pardon less than 1 week after she took office. Now, why would she do that? We know why you did, Greene, because you were involved in the January 6th insurrection. You helped the January 6th insurrectionists. Anyway, moving on. Controversial from the beginning, Greene was stripped of all committee assignments in February of 2021 over freshman legislators' continuous spreading of misinformation and amplification of rhetoric encouraging violence against members of the Democratic Party. Do I need to remind you of the video in which she and a group of people actually harassed Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat of New York, outside of her office? That alone should have expelled her. Do I need to rehash that? Oh, here it is.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'm an American citizen. I pay your salary through the taxes that you collect from me through the IRS. I'm a woman, I'm a female business owner, and I'm proud to be an American woman. And I do not support your socialist policies. If you want to be a big girl, you need to get rid of your diaper and come out and be able to talk to the American citizens instead of us having to use a little flap.
And now the 9/11 truther has a seat on the congressional body tasked with protecting the American people from terrorist attacks. This is a direct quote from the ranking member, Representative John Cato, Republican of New York. This is coming directly from the committee's official website. The Committee of Homeland Security will stand strong against all forms of terrorism, both abroad and here at home. Breakdowns in the sharing of intelligence will not be tolerated. This work will require a thoughtful, not knee-jerk debate to addressing domestic information to prevent radicalization while still respecting civil liberties. Good luck with that with a bitch like Marjone Taylor Greene on the committee. Anyway, Congressman Cato, a former New York prosecutor who has handled counterterrorism, immigration, and traffic cases, will now be seated next to his party and chamber colleague who once blamed Jewish space lasers for California wildfires, and most importantly, has accused the Democratic Party of being a child sex trafficking satanic cult. Now, these are her own words. The Democrats are a party of pedophiles. The Democrats are a party of princess predators from Disney. The Democrats are a party of elementary school teachers trying to transition their elementary school age children and convince them they're a different gender. This is the party of their identity, and their identity is the most disgusting, evil, horrible thing happening in our country. Unquote. When else needs to be said? It was rumored that members of the House GOP's Freedom Caucus were wheeling and dealing behind closed doors as Representative McCarthy tried to secure their votes to finally push him over the top in the election for House Speaker of the House. Now, McCarthy has since stood behind the conspiracy theory spreading Congresswoman, refusing to remove her from committee assignments despite backlash from Democratic House members and longtime Republican legislators. Now, before I read these two quotes, We both know the Republican Party is a party of hypocrisy. They've shown it over and over again, especially these two clowns. Senator Rick Scott of Florida saying she's not going to be the face of the party, unquote. Now, he's chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Sorry, Scott, but this bitch is the face of the Republican Party. She's not, and this crazy bitch isn't the only one. Senator Thom Tillis, a Republican of North Carolina, said on Twitter, it's beyond reprehensible for any elected official, especially a member of Congress, to parrot violent QAnon rhetoric and promote deranged conspiracies like the Pentagon wasn't really hit by a plane on 9/11. It's not conservative, it's insane. Then why is she still in Congress? Why is she still a member of the Republican Party that you won't speak out against? You call this a speak out, but it's not a common condemnation. Why is she still in Congress, Stills? Anyway, it appears, however, that despite the condemnation from more moderate Republicans, Representative Greene's loyalty to McCarthy has really paid off. After 2 years of having no real responsibility or influence in the House of Representatives, the America First Congresswoman, on the outs of her former compatriots, is poised to wreak her mega brand of havoc on the democratic process with her new appointment. The next 2 years of GOP majority rule are on the road to making history, just not in a good way. Now, that was an article from Occupy Democrats. The article, of course, titled Devil's Bargain, Conspiracy Spreading GOP Congresswoman Given Powerful Committee Position, written by Ty Ross. Before I close out this video, I'm just going to ask this question of Kevin McCarthy. What in the hell were you thinking? Seriously, what were you thinking? Giving a psychopathic bitch like Marjone Taylor Greene a powerful committee assignment that's responsible for overseeing an agency of our government that is supposed to protect this country and its people from terrorist threats abroad and domestic. What were you thinking? Were you so desperate to become Speaker of the House that you would hand over the safety and well-being of our nation to a psychopathic bitch who earlier in this article I said blamed the Jewish space lasers for wildfires in California, who accused an entire party of people of being baby rapers? What were you thinking? Were you that desperate? Obviously you were. And you can take this as a threat if you want. We're going to be watching Marjone Taylor Greene and this committee very closely. It's bad enough that you held this country hostage for 4 days, threatening our national security because you, the Republican Party, couldn't agree on a Speaker of the House. It's bad enough that you're going to waste taxpayers' dollars on nonsensical, non-meaning investigations, all for the sake of Donald Trump. Not for the sake of our nation, because our nation was at risk, but for the sake of one man. And it's even 10 times worse that you will burn our country down or let it be burned for the sake of revenge. But if this country suffers another terrorist attack, it will be your responsibility. Now, you can blame the Homeland Security all you want. You're already trying to impeach the Secretary of Homeland Security himself. But trust me, doing this, trying something like this, will only show how desperate and how ignorant and how stupid all of you are. And unfortunately, your arrogance, your ignorance, and your stupidity could cost American lives. And trust me, one way or another, If that happens, and I wish no will on that, I won't wish will on my nation for the sake of trying to hurt the Republican Party or Republicans. It's obvious they don't feel the same way about Democrats or anything else, or the American people for that matter. Any American person. But if one terrorist attack happens because of you, you will be called to account, one way or another. And if you want to take that as some kind of a threat, Marjone Taylor Greene, Kevin McCarthy, members of the House Homeland Security Committee, then you can take it as such. Because you have gotten away with everything without any kind of accountability. The free ride is over. You better do your jobs, and if Americans get hurt because of that, because of you, you will not only be called to account, you'll be in federal prison for the rest of your lives, knowing that all I wanted was power, and you didn't have anything to do when you got it. This is what happens when you have the inmates run the asylum. And Marjone Taylor Greene is not the only questionable appointment. I'm going to get to another one next off. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.